Now, what is American industry? Good fucking question. What is American industry? What do we actually make here in this country? This is way different than like growing chickens in Idaho and sending them to China and then bringing them back and then distributing it. It's a complete mess of a supply chain. Wow. Just wow. Imagine if we can actually have American-made products. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another segment of Saving America. In today's segment, I really want to focus on American industry. Now, what is American industry? Good fucking question. What is American industry? What do we actually make here in this country? How many things are actually made in America and not just labeled made in America? They're not just packaged in America or repackaged in America or sorted and distributed in America. No, how many things are actually made in America? I would beg to say less than 50% of the stuff we buy as Americans is made here in this country. Hell, if I'm gonna throw out a guess, I'm gonna say less than 20% of what we actually buy is made in this country. What does that mean? That means that 80% of our products are made and produced in other countries where they get the salary, where they get all the benefits, and then we kind of just import it in. Now, this has served us so well when it comes to cheap products. The reason we have Walmarts and Targets and all these other mass wholesale things is because volume allows for cheap products, and cheap products allows for us to be able to buy a bunch of random shit. So the cheap products that we have right now, they can't be possible. It can't be made in America. You can't have these same cheap products made in America. It just can't happen. Why? What's the minimum wage of someone working in the United States? Think about it. I think the minimum is probably like $8-9 somewhere, the state federal minimum. But like when it comes to, no, the federal minimum is like $8-9. When it comes to states, hell, some states want to go to $15 minimums or something. So realize, just having a minimum wage sets us leagues apart from third world nations, all right? They have third world salaries, we have first world salaries. And along with their salaries, there's work conditions, insurance, tax for this, healthcare, da. There's so many things that are docked from Americans that we don't even see. It's not, having a $15 an hour discussion isn't a real fucking discussion, because it's not just about those $15. It's about everything else that comes with it. And the person doesn't legitimately keep $15. The government also taxes them. So it's a big mess of crap, but in the end, it costs more to produce here in the United States than it does to produce in other countries. Makes sense. Economically, it's fucking simple to understand why we do outsource our labor force, because it's cheaper. If it costs me $10 million to produce $100 million here in the United States, I have a $90 million profit. But if it costs me $1 million to produce it, that's $9 million more from your profit, right? Thinking in those terms, we have literally gutted the United States infrastructure. We have no supply chains. We can barely make our own food. I'll take that back. We can't make our own food. A lot of stuff we import. And even if there's some crazy stuff, like there are places where we have chickens from here, but because it's cheaper to slaughter them and process them in China, we ship the chickens to China and then ship the processed chickens back here. So in order for you to get a chicken dinner, that chicken literally went halfway around the globe and back. What kind of lunacy is that? That cannot be a sustainable supply chain. And that's what we have right now. And that's why they're breaking. And that's why when gas prices went up a little bit, everything started rising in price. The Ukraine conflict we have right now, this leads us to putting our infrastructure leaves us in such a messed up space that if we actually do want to start producing ourselves, we simply can't. Like, at this point in time, at the snap of a finger, we can't just simply start making everything we used to. It's gonna take time to start putting these factories back, to start bringing all these these jobs back. And yeah, it's a clusterfuck, it's a mess, and we definitely need to improve it, because if we don't, we're gonna get the short end of the stick. At one point in time, like I was saying in my other video, when China tries to take the top position, don't think that we're gonna be able to don't think that we'll still be able to go to Walmart. No, 90x% of the stuff in Walmart is Chinese. And once the Chinese believe they're in a place of power, they're gonna have all the terms of negotiations, and those cheap prices that we're used to are gonna go out the window. So how can we actually better American infrastructure? It's actually very, very fucking easy, in my opinion. It's extremely easy, but we just don't do it. The best way to actually improve American infrastructure is to start growing, processing, and manufacturing products out of hemp. Yes, hemp. Cannabis hemp. No, not that cannabis, you stoners. I know what you're thinking. I'm talking about the industrial version of the cannabis plant. The long, tall stalk. Not the flowers, not the stuff you smoke or use for medicine. That's a whole different section we can cover in a different video. But for right now, when it comes to American infrastructure and American products and American supply chains, hemp could be the solution. In my humble opinion, hemp is the only solution. Why? You can grow hemp almost anywhere. How it's going to grow, the variety it has, what you need it to grow for. Okay, we can discuss these things later. But for the most part, hemp can grow anywhere. Hemp can be processed anywhere as well. Like, if you can grow somewhere, you can process it. If you can process it and get those raw materials, you can start making them into finished products. And to have something within the locality, like, it's amazing to me to think that we can actually have a farmer, a processor, and a manufacturer all within 50 miles of each other. Now, it's not going to be the major cities and the metropolises, but the hell, farms don't grow there anyway. So let's ignore that conversation, because it makes no sense. You can't grow massive fields and plantations in the middle of a city. It just won't work that way. So when we're talking about redefining supply chains and all this stuff, everything is meant for the farmland, right? So if you have somewhere, I don't know, what's a good spot? Indiana. Let's say Kentucky. Kentucky grows a ton of hemp. So in a spot that grows hemp, say a town in Kentucky that grows hemp, in that town, you can have 4 or 5 farms growing hemp, and in that one town, they can all be going to one hemp processor that sorts it and separates it into different raw materials, which are hurd, fiber, and seed. And then from there, you can take it to another factory, another local factory, another place nearby, that makes it into finished materials. Like, I don't know, there's food processing, there's textiles, there's hurd for construction. There's tons of stuff you can use hemp for. But the thing is that within a short space, you can grow the product, process the product, and make finished products out of this one thing. This is way different than like growing chickens in Idaho and sending them to China and then bringing them back and then distribute it. It's a complete mess of a supply chain, and everything you take is just tainted with just waste of oil. So if you actually want to not be an asshole to the environment, you have to go local. If you're the kind of person who actually cares about what they buy and the damage they might cause to the planet, then you have to buy local. And if you're the kind of person that likes to buy local, then you have to support hemp, because hemp is the most local thing that can help the most communities. Hands down. How is it going to help everybody? Very, very easy. The farmer gets help because, one, he has a good crop to grow. He's not growing this crappy soybean or this fucking tobacco that she keeps wrecking his fucking field. He's growing something that's adding nutrients back to the soil. Hemp has this amazing benefit of pulling up toxins and adding back nutrients to the soil. It's amazing. It's amazing what hemp can do for the farmers, right? So it cleans the soil. It helps remediate the soil. That's a better word. And then you can take that and it's easily processable. Like, there are processing centers in the United States that could process hemp if tweaked just a little bit. If they refurbish a machine or two, if they just tweak a machine or two, they could process hemp if they want to. And I've seen this done with a cotton mill. There used to be this cotton mill. There's no more cotton around those areas. They have switched it to hemp. And it is doing, well, it's a 50, 70-year-old operation, and now it's processing hemp. So I'm thinking it's doing pretty good now. It's a very good switch up. And hemp is way better than cotton in so many ways. That's a whole different story. So for the farmers, it's good. For the processors, it gives them something, dude, because farmers have been taking a hit for the past 50 years. Who else has been taking a hit is everybody in those fields, everybody in that business, in that supply chain. So the processors have been taking a hit too. So giving them another raw material to process gives so much life to that industry. So much. And then using those raw materials and putting them in the last stage, which is a manufacturing stage, wow. Just wow. Imagine if we can actually have American-made products. And not just because we brought it from another place and we assembled it in America. No. Forget that. That's nonsense. I want real American-made products. Grown in America, processed in America, manufactured in America, sold in America. That complete supply chain needs to be here. And it can be here. All right? So if you're in this idea of saving America, like we should be, then you should be in the idea that we need to bring back industry. And if you're in the idea we need to bring back industry, then you should 1,000% support hemp. Now, if you can think of anything else that can help this country as much as hemp, please say so in the comments. Please let me know. I'll dive deep into research of this, but I haven't found anything. Technology cannot feed you. You can eat hemp. Technology cannot clothe you. You can make clothing out of hemp. Technology can do a lot of things and help us process hemp. But we still need this raw material. We still need this plant to start helping everybody. So if you got the same idea, if you're on the same vibe, if you're in the hemp train like I am, then leave a comment, say woo hemp or whatever the hell. Just let's start going. Let's start speaking to everybody about the benefits of hemp, because honestly, if there's one thing that can change this world, it's gonna be hemp. And if we don't do it, then this world is fucked. It is what it is. So peace. See you next time.